You're watching SKST Radio.
Well, welcome to another episode of SKST Radio, Small Business Network. And I am Cammie Grayson, your host. And I have a beautiful lady over here. Her name is Jacqueline. Jacqueline, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, good. And today's show is brought to you by the original Rubber Duck, the rubberduck.net. Yay! All right, Jacqueline, tell people who you are and what you do.
So I'm a recording artist. I'm a songwriter, a producer, arranger of music, a lot of my own music, but I've done some co-writes. I'm also an author of a cookbook, which is going to be released in about 6 weeks, and it'll be downloadable and for purchase on my website, which is jacqine.com, which is spelled Jacquine. Yeah. And I have written a lot of music. I'm also writing now, co-writing with people who are working on film music and television music. So yeah, I'm happy to do all this music, and I do a lot of my own arranging and producing, and yeah, mostly a lot of that, but some co-writes.
That's cool. That's cool. So Jacqueline, how did you get started in doing all this music?
Yeah, I got started many years ago. It was in dance music, which I love very much as well. And I got signed to non-exclusive agreements, just writing and singing for other producers. And then from there, it just sort of, just started to be like the domino effect. Things started to happen for me. And then later on, I started to write smooth jazz and funk music, and I play keyboards, but I also write and play other instrumentation on keyboards. So many different instruments, like saxophone and bass and brass, all sorts of instruments, that I do. And yeah, the music that you hear of mine on YouTube, that's what I've done, from my instrumentation.
That is so cool. That is so. Did you like grow up in church singing and playing music, or how did you get your first instrument? How did it happen?
Yeah, so when I was about 9 years old or 10, my dad and mom bought me an organ to play. It was a little tiny organ to just play some notes, and I just started to figure out and filter out different sounds. And I really didn't know what I was playing. It was very, very, very elementary and basic at the time. But then, I started to hone in on my skills later on. I had taken lessons. I had sang at various venues, over time, and really started to work on my skills. My dad, he noticed my voice at about the age of 9 and 10, and he encouraged me to listen to other musicians, other artists, and then I started to listen to what he liked, the famous artists that he liked, and that's where I started to get my influences, and really, and then I started listening to 70s music, which I love very much. So I listened to a lot of music over time. I mean, I have a variety of music that I've listened to over time. So from the 70s, 80s, 90s. So I have all of this sort of music in my head that it has been an influence and inspiration over time. So my dad was a big influencer, my mom, of course, as well, buying me that first organ too, listening to other artists, and then getting into doing my own sound, and then studying, voice, and also taking some piano lessons, but mostly self-taught, but it took some piano lessons and vocal lessons.
So doing your, so can you throw out a couple of vocals for us, just a little bit?
Oh, wow.
Let's see. Spot, I know.
Let me see. What can I do? What can I do? I'm trying to think. What songs can I do? Give me a chance to show you how. I want to be there for you. Give me a chance to show you how. I want to be there for you. Something like that.
Woo! Girl, you got a voice. Got some
Thank you.
vocals on you. Well,
Yeah,
thank you. That is lovely. Absolutely lovely.
thank
So,
you.
okay, so you actually take on clients to actually write music for?
Yeah, I do take on clients that I'm writing some music for various people. I do songwriting mentorships. I mean, I have done writing for other people rather, and
Mhm.
songwriting mentorships I've done. So people have booked time with me to pay for songwriting mentorships, for example. So that's been great. And yeah, and then vocals recording sessions I've done in the past. So people have booked me for recording sessions.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. Well, Jacqueline, who is your ideal customer?
My ideal customer, if we're speaking of music, would be someone who's like a music supervisor. Someone who has artists like doesn't have to be famous. It could be an artist who's looking for songwriter or singer. Maybe background vocals, but someone I can write for. Let's say an artist that needs material that I could write for or sing background vocals to, or a music supervisor who needs music for their film. I definitely do orchestrations, so I can definitely produce that. And I would say those, would be for music, my ideal customer.
All right. So at the end of the day, you got a woman that's really trying to do what you're doing. What type of advice would you give her?
Yeah, I would say, definitely spend your time, focusing on where your music, you feel your music is a good fit. You know, Definitely study what references are out there, what type of music you're writing, depending on the music that you're writing. Really try to focus on those areas where, people are listening to that type of music or whatever, because at different times they may need different music, but like for film brief, it has to be that music for that particular scene that they're writing for, in the film. So it's very important to hone in on those skills. And I would say, reaching out to people, trying to contact them, whether through LinkedIn or trying to get referrals, to find people. It's important because you want to make sure you make the contacts there earlier, and that the people that are interested and get back to you, definitely get back to them. But if there are people that just don't get back to you and make excuses or whatever, don't bother. Just move on, and just move on to whoever's going to be interested and who reciprocates that value
Yeah,
of who you are and
absolutely.
what you do.
Nice. Okay, so we saved the best for last. You have a book that's coming out.
Yeah.
So tell us about
Yes.
that book.
I can't say too much just because the book isn't out, but here's the big surprise that people have been waiting for. So it's a cookbook. It's got international recipes, my own recipes. I have traveled to many places. Took a cooking class. So when I was in Italy, I've been to Spain and Italy, and I've been to England. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to New Orleans. Several places. I cook my own food, and yeah, these are international recipes that I came up with. They're Italian, Greek, Spanish, Thai, Mexican food, Moroccan food, Japanese food. Yeah, there's desserts in there. There's also tips on, what to do, what not to do. How to really be efficient, but also save time and money. It's really helpful. It's a helpful book because it really can save time when people order in food every day. It can be
Hmm.
expensive,
Yeah,
and this hopefully, from what I do, I believe it's going to save them people time and money, and make things efficient, especially with the tips that I talk about on how people can put the food away, and some of it you could save for the next day and have it be fresh. still, taste fresh rather. Yeah, but in addition, it's also comedy stories that I've written. So there's a number of stories in there, and I think even
Nice.
if you're not so into cooking, the comedy stories are I think some of the funniest on earth. I don't do stand up comedy rather,
Mhm.
but I can write comedy. So yeah, people don't know that about me, I don't think.
Yeah, wow, that is so interesting. So this is a writer from her heart here. I mean, this lady can write music, cookbooks, and now even jokes. So this is cool. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jackie, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for honoring us with a little song so we can hear how that beautiful voice of yours sound. I mean, it's just
Oh yeah.
amazing. You got a lot going on, and I am so proud of you. And I want you to keep going and keep going and keep going and don't stop.
I appreciate you so much. And thank you for having me on the show. And, again, people can go to my website and which is jacquine.com. Once again, it's JACQINE.com. There's a lot of information there, but in 6 weeks or so, the book should be ready. So hopefully people will check out the book and download it. It will only be available on my website right now. I don't know if I'm going to have it distributed, but right now it's only going to be available on my website.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, I can't wait to get it.
Thank you so
This is
much.
gonna be fun. This is gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Okay,
So
guys. Until next week, right here, SKST Radio. Say bye, Jackie.
take care. Thank you so much. Have a good one.